All right, welcome back, everybody. These are the first two of the lot of 12 Game Boy colors that we purchased that were for parts or repair. So obviously this one's got some screen burning on it. There is a bubble in the middle of that screen. You can kind of see it right there. The issues that I've run into on these, at least as far as some stuff goes, still waiting on some parts to show up, so screens aren't necessarily going to get fixed, but this one just flat out does not power off. It is stuck in the on position. Never seen that before on a Game Boy Color. I've seen it on a couple other ones, so not totally sure what that issue is going to be on this. And then this one, we just flat out have no power on the screen itself. What I'm going to do is actually start with this one. This one's also missing the A button. As you can see, it used to be purple. Got a couple of these that are actually purple on the back, and the entire front looks black. But get that moved out of the way, and actually going to start on this one. This may or may not be what I'm thinking it is, but if it is, it's not going to be too bad. We just got to take out the 6 screws, the 2 up top, 2 in the middle, and 2 inside of the battery tray, if you had a battery cover. Which obviously for this one I do not. And and those are also 6 Y-bit screws. I use a 2.5. The 3 on the inside, which are here, here, and here, are all just regular Phillips. But I'm not sure if our issue is actually going to be at this battery connector, because that looks a little crunchy to me. But we will get these Phillips screws out. Continue on from there. Honestly, this is going to be the can we do the quick simple fixes on these to see if we can get them back up and working, and also clean off any of the corrosion that may be in these. If we can't, we'll probably come back to the more major repairs in another different video. I do have one that is extremely corroded. That one should be fun to fix. Let's go ahead and get this screen popped out. Get the board out. Oh, not really the screen popped out, but get the ribbon cable for it taken care of. That is the one with the burnt screen on it. Get that set off to the side. And we'll start taking a look at this. We do have some corrosion right in here. Doesn't look to be too bad. Looks like there might be some on this battery connector, but it still looks pretty good attached on that end. Button pads could be use a little bit of cleaning. They're kind of dirty. The first thing I'm going to do, just give this board a good scrubbing. Shouldn't fix any of our issues, but going to get some IPA on here. Get out our medium bristle toothbrush and just get this factory flux that is still on here all off. That's a better idea. What we are looking at goes. I'm not sure where it's going to be. In the slot, like the plugins, underneath there's plugins, just the top. But I'll, I'll get it outside. We're thinking our problem is actually going to be is inside of the power switch itself. Those tend to get extremely dirty. Yeah, it's got some rust on it. What I'm going to do here is actually get one of my fiberglass pens. I know these are controversial on cleaning up. They actually scratch the surface. But then again, so does my metal pick. That is actually fairly well cleaned up on there. I said that should have done absolutely nothing as far as our power issue goes, but we're going to test it. It's just two AA's together with some battery clips. The bottom of this is, well, the spring one is negative. The other one is positive. Let's flip the power switch, and we actually get a light now. But that is a very crunchy light. So I'm a little shocked that cleaning actually fixed that problem with the power, because we had no power to start with. But what we're actually going to do is we're going to open up this, grab our fiberglass pen here. And get this cleaned out. A little bit of IPA on our brush. Scrub the inside. We'll do the same thing with the actual switch itself. This you want to be actually kind of careful at, because those contacts on the inside, they're just like melted or pressure fit in place, so you actually can pop that whole center metal piece out of there. And just a little bit of cleaning off the top of that. And also what I will do is just lightly, and I mean lightly, just bend those up so they make slightly better contact. They will actually flatten themselves back out when we put it back inside. Back of the switch cleaned up. Inside of that cover. And all we're gonna do is just set that back down on the inside. I'm trying to do this where you can actually see what I'm doing and keep my hands out of the way. And then just solder that piece back down. Grab our battery tester here real quick. Put our negative back to negative, positive back to positive, and we no longer have a crunchy power switch. And for our game testing purposes here, I have a screen that actually needs a new polarizer on it. And I thought I had the correct polarizer still, but apparently I used them all. So we're gonna grab Tetris here really quick, dump that in, throw that on top, and see if looks like we might not have a good video connection. Yes, I thought the screen was good. And there we go. The colors are inverted on the screen because of the bad polarizer. But as far as this goes, this one is quote unquote fixed. Still have to get it back together, test buttons and whatnot. But we will throw it back into the case real quick and mark it until we have a chance to test those. And all of these are going to get new shells on them, so I'm not really super concerned about the cleaning of these shells. But as far as that goes, that is one of the two we are taking a look at today. This is just pure curiosity. We're just going to set all this to the side, but I actually want to see how bad this screen is. Also probably put some new battery connectors on this because the negative side does definitely look a little bad. Holy cow, there actually is an image behind that screen. Let's see if our buttons work. Sorry, I'm having fun with this one now. Our left works. Right does not work. That could just be the pads. I haven't cleaned any of those. Select works. Start works. Yep. Left does not work. Yeah, left does work. Down works. Yeah, so that's just the pads. Looks like actually everything on this is working. I was wrong. You just have to push them really hard, which again is probably the dirty rubber contacts and that, but all of those are getting replaced. Not in this video, but they will be happening on some of the other consoles. You see ones that have far worse shells. This one's not great, but this is a working clear Game Boy Color. Get all of our stuff out of the way. And now let's get to the one that doesn't power off. It's gonna be the same thing. Take out the 6 Y screws in the back. Surprisingly, these ones aren't as stuck in there as the other one was. Yes, and I know. Great job. Arms in the way. But at the same time, it's a bunch of screws. Oh. Actually, it looks like somebody's been in here before because these tabs are up. Yeah, look at that. Oh, look at this. There's a power button. I don't know where that just came from. But somebody's been in here before. Which makes me kind of wonder what they were doing. I said, I usually don't replace these. You really, most of the time, you don't need to. It's good to have spares. Yeah, that screw's not in there that well. Did they buy a power switch and then realize it's the wrong power switch? I mean, this one's not going to be coming back to life either because we're missing a capacitor, another capacitor, 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 capacitor. I said I am just now opening these up and taking a look at them and seeing them for the first time. So it looks like this one currently in the form that it sits in is not fixable because I do not have these capacitors. At least I don't think I do. I do not. I have a spare one of these capacitors, but I don't have spares of these two. Looking at what I have from my donor boards. So unfortunately, this one we're going to need to order capacitors for. But if that's the case, I'm actually gonna take this off. Throw our A button in there. So I did have a spare A button, but I'm actually going to remove the board from the first one we worked on. And move that into here. Oh yeah, these contacts are dirty. Or the pads are. Just gonna since we have a bad board, there's missing pieces. I'm just going to swap these around, and that one will come back in a later video when we go to reattach those capacitors. But for right now, we're going to shove this one back in here and see how bad this screen is. And your screws go there, there, and over there. I think somebody's trying to fix a power issue on that other one, and I'm not sure. I've seen a lot of things. I've never actually seen a case of getting one where I've had pieces and stuff missing off of it. Like I said, these are the first time I'm opening these up, so I'm not completely 100% sure what we're gonna find on the inside. So you got this one mostly back. I'm actually gonna shove the back shell on. Like I said, they're gonna get reshelled, so it's actually kind of nice. It came with power switch, so I don't believe that's the right switch though. Get just 2 screws back into this, good enough to hold the case together, and then we'll take a look and see what the screen looks like in this one. Pretty sure that big bubble in the middle of it's gonna be a... No? Yeah, see? Clean the pads. Everything's a heck of a lot nicer. Well, anyways, outside of that other one, missing, well, I guess, a power switch, which I'm not sure which Game Boy this is supposed to be for. I'm not even sure if this is the right power switch. It definitely is not the same as what took... Yeah, this is a 3-position switch. This isn't even the right kind of switch for what's supposed to be going in there. Well, anyways, the other one, fortunately, this one, we will get a power switch ordered for, and capacitors. And we will come back to that. We're probably going to be doing these in groups of 2 to try to keep the video short and easy on editing. Anyways, that's how you should fix power switch. Shouldn't say should, probably. I mean, you can replace them, but you don't necessarily always have to. Anyways, that is at least one of 2 fixed because the other one's missing parts. Thanks for stopping in. Have a good night, and we will see you in the next one.